Hello there, and welcome to Whispers of Science, where the universe unfolds its most profound mysteries in gentle waves of wonder. Tonight, we're embarking on an extraordinary voyage into one of the most mind bending ideas to emerge from the depths of modern cosmology. A theory so elegant, yet so radical, it might just reshape everything we thought we knew about black holes and the very fabric of reality itself. Before we dive into this cosmic rabbit hole, I'd love to know where in the world you're listening from tonight, and what draws you to these quiet corners of scientific exploration if you find these journeys through the cosmos soothing, intriguing, or simply a peaceful way to ponder the infinite. I'd be ever so grateful if you gave this video a gentle like and perhaps subscribed it. It helps these whispers of wonder reach other curious souls who might need a moment of cosmic contemplation. Now, I do hope this isn't so fascinating that it keeps you from your well deserved rest. But if it does well, at least you'll have pondered one of the universe's most beautiful puzzles before you drift off to dream. So settle in, let your thoughts slow, and prepare yourself for a journey that begins at the edge of everything we know, because somewhere between the event horizon and eternity lies a story that might change how we see our place in the cosmos. Imagine for a moment that you're floating in the vast emptiness of space, far from any star or planet. The darkness around you is complete, save for one thing in the distance, a region where even the stars seem to bend and twist, their light stretched into impossible spirals before vanishing entirely. You're witnessing one of nature's most mysterious creations, a black hole, a place where gravity has become so intense that not even light can escape its grasp. For decades, those cosmic enigmas have captured our imagination and challenged our understanding. They've been portrayed as cosmic vacuum cleaners, devouring everything in their path, or as gateways to other dimensions. But what if I told you that the latest scientific thinking suggests something far more extraordinary? What if black holes aren't just the universe's ultimate destroyers, but might actually be the universe's most creative forces? What if hidden within their crushing depths lies not emptiness, but an entire cosmos as rich and complex as our own? This isn't science fiction. This is the cutting edge of theoretical physics, where brilliant minds are proposing that every black hole might contain within it a complete universe with its own stars, galaxies, and perhaps even life. It's a theory that sounds like it belongs in the pages of a fantasy novel, yet it emerges from the rigorous mathematics of general relativity and quantum mechanics. The story begins with a simple yet profound question that has haunted physicists for generations. What happens to information when it falls into a black hole? According to our current understanding of physics, information cannot be destroyed. It can be transformed, hidden, or scrambled, but never truly lost. Yet black holes seem to violate this fundamental principle. When matter falls past the event horizon, that invisible boundary beyond which escape becomes impossible, it appears to vanish forever, taking its information with it. This puzzle, known as the black hole information paradox, has kept some of the world's brightest minds awake at night. It strikes at the very heart of how we understand reality itself. Because if information can be destroyed, then the universe becomes fundamentally unpredictable, and the elegant mathematical structures that describe our cosmos begin to crumble. But what if the information doesn't disappear? What if instead of being destroyed, it gets encoded into the fabric of space-time itself, creating something far more remarkable than we ever imagined. This is where our story takes a fascinating turn toward a theory that suggests black holes might be doorways not to oblivion, but to entirely new realities. The mathematics behind this idea are beautifully complex, yet the core concept can be understood through a simple analogy. Imagine you're looking at a soap bubble floating in the air from the outside. It appears to be a simple spherical surface, but if you could somehow shrink down and pass through that surface, you'd find yourself in an entirely different space inside the bubble. Now imagine that instead of air, the interior of the bubble contains an expanding universe, complete with its own dimensions, its own time, and its own potential for complexity. This is essentially what some physicists are proposing about black holes, that what we perceive as a collapsed star creating an infinitely dense point called a singularity might actually be something far more extraordinary. The birth of a new universe expanding not outward into our space, but inward into dimensions we cannot directly observe. The theory suggests that when matter collapses to form a black hole, the extreme curvature of spacetime creates a kind of tunnel or bridge connecting our universe to a newly forming cosmos. The event horizon that we observe from the outside would be like looking at the soap bubble's surface, while inside a completely separate reality unfolds with its own physical laws and evolutionary timeline. What makes this idea particularly compelling is how it addresses several long standing puzzles in physics at once. It potentially solves the information paradox by suggesting that information doesn't disappear, but instead becomes the foundation for a new universe. It offers an explanation for the mysterious properties of black holes that have puzzled scientists for decades, and it provides a framework for understanding how our own universe might have begun. Think about it for a moment. If black holes can give birth to new universes, then perhaps our own cosmos emerged not from some inexplicable Big Bang, but from the collapse of a massive star in a parent universe. It's a recursive, elegant idea that suggests an infinite hierarchy of realities, each one giving birth to countless others through the formation of black holes. The mathematics supporting this theory draw from some of the most advanced concepts in modern physics, from the warping of spacetime described by Einstein's general relativity to the quantum mechanical properties of information and energy. The equations suggest that the interior of a black hole might indeed expand into a full-fledged universe with its own Big Bang occurring at the moment of the black hole's formation. But here's where the theory becomes even more intriguing. If black holes can contain entire universes, then the number of potential realities becomes staggering. Our observable universe contains billions of galaxies, each potentially harboring millions or billions of black holes. If each of these black holes spawns its own universe, and those universes in turn create their own black holes, the result is an infinite fractal structure of nested realities, each as real and complex as our own. This concept challenges our most fundamental assumptions about existence and uniqueness. We've long assumed that our universe is special, the only reality that matters. But if this theory proves correct, then we might be just one branch on an infinite tree of cosmic possibilities, a single note in a symphony of universes, each playing its own unique melody. The implications extend far beyond abstract mathematics If black holes truly contain universes, then the question of life elsewhere takes on entirely new dimensions, rather than searching for life on distant planets within our own cosmos. We might need to consider the possibility that countless forms of consciousness exist within the black holes scattered throughout space, as civilizations might be thriving in universes contained within the very objects we've long considered to be cosmic destroyers. Some researchers have even suggested that this theory might explain certain observed properties of black holes that have long puzzled scientists. The precise ratios of mass, charge, and spin that characterize these objects might not be arbitrary, but could instead reflect the physical constants and structures of the universes contained within them. The theory also offers a potential explanation for one of cosmology's greatest mysteries: why our universe appears to be fine tuned for life with physical constants that allow for the formation of stars, planets, and complex chemistry. If universes are born within black holes and evolve according to their own dynamics, then natural selection might operate on a cosmic scale. Universes that produce stable black holes would give birth to more universes, while those that don't would represent evolutionary dead ends. This process could explain why we find ourselves in a universe with just the right properties for complexity and life to emerge. We might be the products of billions of years of cosmic evolution, a process that has gradually selected for universes capable of supporting the rich chemistry and physics necessary for consciousness to arise. Of course, like all revolutionary scientific theories, this idea faces significant challenges and skeptical scrutiny. The mathematics, while elegant, are extraordinarily complex, and many aspects remain highly speculative. We cannot directly observe the interiors of black holes, nor can we perform experiments to test whether they truly contain expanding universes. Yet the very fact that such ideas can emerge from rigorous mathematical frameworks speaks to the profound beauty of theoretical physics, where imagination and calculation dance together in pursuit of truth. The equations don't lie, even when they lead us to conclusions that stretch our understanding to its very limits. One of the most compelling aspects of this nested universe theory lies in its potential to resolve what physicists call the hierarchy problem. Why are the fundamental forces of nature so precisely balanced? Why does gravity seem so much weaker than the electromagnetic force when compared at the quantum level? If our universe emerged from within a black hole in a parent cosmos, these apparent coincidences might actually be inevitable consequences of the formation process. Think of it like this: when a black hole forms, the extreme conditions at its heart might naturally select for certain physical constants that allow for stable matter and energy. The universes that emerge would inherit these properties not through chance, but through a kind of cosmic natural selection. Only those combinations of forces and constants that can support black hole formation would propagate into new realities. This leads to another fascinating possibility. If black holes are indeed cosmic wombs giving birth to new universes, then the process might not be random, but could follow patterns and rules. We're only beginning to understand the mass and properties of a black hole might determine the characteristics of the universe within it. Larger black holes might spawn universes with different physical laws, while smaller ones might create more familiar cosmic environments. Some researchers have even speculated about the possibility of communication between nested universes. If information can somehow traverse the boundary between a black hole and its interior universe, then perhaps signals could be exchanged between different levels of reality. Imagine receiving messages from civilizations existing within the black holes in our galaxy, or sending information to the parent universe that might contain our own cosmic neighborhood. The implications for our understanding of consciousness and existence are equally profound if every black hole contains a universe potentially teeming with life and awareness. Then the cosmos becomes not just vast in space and time, but infinite in depth and complexity. Every star that collapses, every galaxy that feeds its central black hole, becomes a nursery for countless new forms of consciousness, each as real and significant as our own. This perspective transforms how we might view our cosmic responsibilities. If our actions can influence the formation of black holes through our understanding of physics and cosmology, then we might bear some responsibility for the universes that emerge from them. The choices we make about how to explore and manipulate space-time could have consequences that ripple through infinite layers of reality. The theory also suggests new ways of thinking about the ultimate fate of our own universe. As our cosmos ages and evolves, more and more matter will eventually find its way into black holes, rather than seeing this as a cosmic death sentence. We might instead view it as a transformation, a metamorphosis from one form of existence to another. The information and complexity that define our reality wouldn't be lost, but would become the seed for countless new universes, each carrying forward some essence of what came before. Consider the poetic justice in this idea that black holes objects we once feared as cosmic destroyers might actually be the universe's method of reproduction and renewal. Every galaxy, every star system, every planet that eventually succumbs to gravitational collapse doesn't simply vanish, but becomes the foundation for entirely new realms of possibility. Some physicists have pushed this concept even further, suggesting that consciousness itself might play a role in the process if awareness and observation can influence quantum mechanical events. As some interpretations suggest, then perhaps conscious beings within each universe contribute to the conditions that determine how new realities unfold. We might be unwitting gardeners tending to an infinite cosmic ecosystem. The mathematics behind these ideas draw from string theory, quantum gravity, and the holographic principle concepts at the very frontier of human understanding. The equations suggest that the boundary of a black hole, the event horizon, might function like a hologram, encoding all the information about the three-dimensional volume within onto its two-dimensional surface. This holographic encoding could be the mechanism by which information transfers from our universe into the expanding cosmos within the black hole. What's particularly elegant about this theory is how it addresses the measurement problem in quantum mechanics. The question of how quantum possibilities collapse into definite realities. If each possible outcome spawns its own universe within newly formed black holes, then perhaps all possibilities are actually realized somewhere in the infinite hierarchy of nested realities. This leads to a mind-expanding realization about the nature of existence itself. Rather than living in a single definitive universe, we might inhabit a vast multiverse where every possible history, every quantum outcome, every potential future exists simultaneously. in different cosmic branches. The black holes scattered throughout space wouldn't just be massive objects, but doorways to infinite variations of reality. The theory even offers new perspectives on some of the deepest questions in philosophy and theology. If universes can emerge naturally from the collapse of matter under gravity, then the act of creation becomes not a singular miraculous event, but an ongoing process woven into the very fabric of existence. Every black hole becomes a creator, giving birth to new possibilities for consciousness, complexity, and wonder. Researchers working on this theory have identified several potential observational signatures that might provide evidence for nested universes. The way black holes evaporate through Hawking radiation might carry subtle information about the universes within the gravitational waves produced. When black holes merge, might contain encoded messages from the realities they once harbored. Some have even proposed that certain anomalies in the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of our own universe's birth, might represent echoes from the parent universe that gave rise to our reality through black hole formation. These faint signals could be our first glimpse into the cosmic hierarchy that stretches infinitely above and below our own level of existence. The search for such evidence represents one of the most exciting frontiers in modern cosmology, combining cutting edge observational techniques with theoretical insights that push the boundaries of human imagination. We stand at the threshold of discoveries that could revolutionize our understanding of reality itself, transforming black holes from mysterious cosmic monsters into gateways to infinite wonder. As we continue to refine our instruments and sharpen our theoretical tools, we move closer to answering questions that once seemed forever beyond human reach. The whispers of science grow stronger with each passing year, carrying hints and suggestions about the true nature of the cosmos and our place within its vast, interconnected web of nested realities. The implications of this theory stretch far beyond academic curiosity into realms that touch the very core of human experience. Imagine for a moment that you could somehow peer through the event horizon of a black hole, not to witness the violent crushing of matter, but to observe the gentle unfurling of an entirely new cosmos, watching as space itself expands, carrying with it the seeds of future galaxies, stars, and perhaps civilizations that will one day look up at their own night sky and wonder about the nature of existence. What strikes many physicists as particularly beautiful about this nested universe hypothesis is how it transforms our understanding of time itself. We typically think of time as flowing in one direction from past to future, but if black holes give birth to new universes, then time becomes layered, recursive, even cyclical. The formation of a black hole in our universe might represent not an ending, but a beginning. The moment when time itself branches into new streams, flowing through dimensions we cannot directly perceive. Consider the extraordinary possibility that right now, as you listen to these words, countless universes might be experiencing their own big bangs within the black holes scattered across our cosmic neighborhood, each one beginning its own journey through cosmic evolution, developing its own unique patterns of matter and energy, its own dance of particles and forces. Some of these infant universes might already be billions of years old in their own time, having evolved complex structures while existing for mere moments in our temporal frame. This temporal layering creates what some researchers call cosmic simultaneity. The idea that all moments in all nested universes exist concurrently, creating a kind of eternal now that encompasses infinite possibilities. Your thoughts at this very moment might coincide with the birth of stars in universes contained within distant black holes, with the emergence of life in cosmic realms nested within the galactic center, with civilizations reaching toward their own understanding of the nested reality that contains them. The theory also suggests fascinating possibilities about the nature of physical laws themselves, rather than being fundamental, unchangeable constants. The forces and particles as we observe might be more like local customs, specific to our particular branch of the cosmic tree. The universe within a black hole, formed from different initial conditions, might develop entirely different physics, where gravity operates by different rules, where electromagnetic forces follow unfamiliar patterns, where entirely new types of matter and energy emerge. Some theorists have speculated about exotic forms of chemistry that might arise in these alternate realities, elements that could never exist under our physical laws, forming compounds and structures of breathtaking complexity. Imagine crystalline formations that exist in 11 dimensions, or life forms based on quantum entanglement rather than carbon chemistry. The diversity of possible existence becomes not just astronomical, but truly infinite. What makes this theory particularly compelling to many researchers is how it addresses one of the most profound questions in cosmology. The problem of cosmic fine tuning our universe appears to be calibrated with remarkable precision for the emergence of complexity and consciousness. The masses of fundamental particles, the strengths of the various forces, the rate of cosmic expansion all seem to fall within narrow ranges that allow for stable atoms, complex chemistry, and ultimately life itself. Traditional explanations for this fine tuning often invoke either an infinite multiverse, where all possible combinations exist, or some form of intelligent design. But the nested universe theory offers a third elegant possibility, that these apparent coincidences arise naturally through a process of cosmic evolution. Universes that can form stable black holes propagate their characteristics into new realities, while those that cannot represent evolutionary dead ends. This cosmic natural selection operates on timescales and spatial scales that dwarf biological evolution, yet follows similar principles. Variations in physical constants get tested across countless nested realities. Those combinations that prove stable and generative spread through the cosmic hierarchy, while unstable configurations fade away. We might be living in a universe that has been refined through billions of generations of cosmic reproduction, each nested layer building upon the successes of its predecessors. The mathematical frameworks supporting these ideas draw from some of the most advanced concepts in theoretical physics. The holographic principle suggests that all information about a three-dimensional volume can be encoded on its two-dimensional boundary applied to black holes. This means that everything falling past the event horizon might be preserved as information on the black hole's surface, creating a kind of cosmic memory bank that could serve as the blueprint for new universes. Quantum error correction. Another concept borrowed from information theory provides mechanisms by which this encoded information might remain stable, even as the black hole evolves and eventually evaporates through Hawking radiation. The information doesn't disappear, but transforms, creating the initial conditions for the expanding universe within while maintaining connections to the parent reality that gave it birth. These connections between nested universes might manifest in subtle but detectable ways. Some researchers have proposed that quantum entanglement could persist across the boundary between universes, creating ghostly correlations between events in our cosmos and occurrences in the realities contained within black holes. If such connections exist, they might appear as unexplained quantum phenomena or statistical anomalies in our observations of black hole behavior. The search for such signatures has led to innovative observational strategies. Astronomers are now looking for subtle patterns in the polarization of light escaping from near black holes, for unexpected correlations in the timing of gravitational wave events, for tiny deviations in the way black holes interact with surrounding matter. These whispers from hidden universes might already be present in our data, waiting for the right theoretical framework to reveal their significance. Even more intriguing is the possibility of two-way communication between nested realities. If information can flow from our universe into black holes, then perhaps signals could travel in the reverse direction as well. Imagine receiving messages from civilizations existing within the Sagittarius, a star, the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, or detecting evidence of technological activity in universes nested within stellar mass black holes in our local cosmic neighborhood. Such communications would face extraordinary challenges. The time dilation effects near black holes would stretch signals across vast temporal scales. What might be a brief transmission from within could take millennia to emerge in our reality. Additionally, any information crossing the event horizon boundary would likely be encoded in ways that require entirely new approaches to decryption and interpretation. Yet the mere possibility opens up breathtaking vistas for the future of astronomy and cosmology. We might need to develop new forms of mathematics, new ways of thinking about causality and information, new technologies capable of detecting the faintest whispers from realities nested within the cosmic objects we've long considered to be merely massive and dark. The philosophical implications of these ideas extend far beyond physics into questions about consciousness, identity, and meaning. If we exist within a vast hierarchy of nested realities, then our significance becomes both diminished and magnified simultaneously. We might be just one small branch on an infinite cosmic tree. Yet we are also participants in a process of creation that spans multiple levels of existence. Our choices, our discoveries, our very awareness might influence the formation and evolution of countless universes yet to be born. This perspective transforms how we might approach the great questions of existence, rather than seeing ourselves as isolated observers in a single universe. We become part of an interconnected web of realities, each contributing to the other's growth and development. The love we experience, the knowledge we gain, the beauty we create, might ripple through multiple layers of cosmic hierarchy, enriching not just our own reality, but countless others nested within and around it. Some researchers have even speculated about the possibility of conscious influence on universe formation. If awareness and observation play roles in quantum mechanical processes, then perhaps conscious beings can subtly affect the conditions under which new realities emerge. We might be unwitting gardeners in an infinite cosmic ecosystem, our thoughts and intentions helping to shape the characteristics of universes born within nearby black holes. This leads to extraordinary questions about cosmic responsibility and ethics. If our actions can influence the formation and properties of nested universes, do we bear moral obligations to these hidden realities? Should we consider the potential consequences of our cosmological experiments and observations, not just for our own universe, but for the countless others that might emerge from the black holes we study? The theory also suggests new approaches to some of the most fundamental problems in physics. The question of why something exists rather than nothing might find resolution in the recursive nature of nested realities. Existence becomes not a singular, inexplicable fact, but an ongoing process of cosmic reproduction, where each universe naturally gives birth to others, ensuring that the web of reality continues to expand and complexify across infinite layers of nested space and time. As our understanding of these possibilities deepens, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of a new kind of cosmology, one that embraces not just the vastness of space and time, but the infinite depth of nested realities. Each as rich and meaningful as our own, the universe reveals itself, not as a single story, but as an endless library of interconnected tales, each chapter giving birth to countless others in an eternal dance of creation and discovery. The whispers grow stronger with each passing observation, each theoretical breakthrough, each moment of wonder as we contemplate our place in this vast interconnected cosmos. We are not merely observers, but participants in a story that spans infinite dimensions of possibility and meaning. Perhaps the most extraordinary aspect of this nested universe theory lies in how it reframes our relationship with the unknown. Instead of viewing black holes as impenetrable mysteries forever beyond our reach, they become windows into the deepest workings of cosmic creativity, each one a laboratory where the fundamental processes of reality itself are explored and refined through countless iterations of universal birth. The mathematics governing these hidden realms follow patterns that echo throughout nature, from the spiral arms of galaxies to the branching of rivers to the neural networks in our own minds. This suggests that the nested universe phenomenon might represent a fundamental principle of organization that operates at every scale of existence. What we observe as fractals in nature might be reflections of the deeper fractal structure of reality itself, where each black hole contains universes that spawn their own black holes in an endless recursive pattern. Recent advances in quantum gravity have provided new tools for exploring these ideas. Researchers have developed sophisticated models that describe how space-time itself might fold and branch at the moment of black hole formation, creating what some call cosmic origami, where dimensions twist and unfold to accommodate entire universes within seemingly impossible geometric constraints. These models suggest that the interior of a black hole doesn't collapse to a singular point, as classical physics predicts, but instead undergoes a kind of dimensional transformation, expanding into new spatial directions that exist perpendicular to our own familiar three dimensions of space. Imagine trying to explain depth to a being that lives on a flat surface. The challenge of comprehending these higher dimensional expansions stretches our conceptual abilities to their limits, yet nature seems comfortable with such impossibilities. Quantum particles routinely exist in multiple states. Simultaneously, waves and particles coexist in the same phenomenon. And now we discover that massive objects might simultaneously be both cosmic destroyers and cosmic creators, depending on which side of the event horizon we observe them. From the temporal implications become even more fascinating when we consider that time itself might flow differently within nested universes. What we perceive as the brief moments of black hole formation might correspond to billions of years of evolution within the contained reality. Entire civilizations could rise and fall in the time it takes light to travel from one side of our solar system to the other. This temporal dilation creates profound questions about causality and influence. If events in our universe can affect the development of nested realities, then perhaps the reverse is also true. The quantum fluctuations that seem random in our cosmos might actually be influenced by the complex dynamics of universes contained within nearby black holes, creating subtle correlations that span multiple levels of reality. Some theorists have proposed that consciousness itself might be a force that operates across these nested boundaries, just as gravity and electromagnetism shape the behavior of matter and energy. Awareness might represent a fundamental feature of the cosmos that transcends individual universes. This would mean that the thoughts and experiences of beings in our reality could somehow resonate with consciousness in nested universes, creating a kind of cosmic empathy that connects all aware beings across infinite layers of existence. The implications for our understanding of death and continuity become particularly poignant if information is truly conserved across universal boundaries. Then perhaps consciousness doesn't simply vanish when biological processes cease. Instead, it might transform, becoming part of the initial conditions for new universes born within black holes. The essence of every thinking being that has ever lived might continue to exist, woven into the fundamental structure of countless nested realities. This perspective offers a new kind of immortality, not the preservation of individual identity in some heavenly realm, but the continuation of conscious patterns in ever new forms across infinite cosmic generations. Every decision, every moment of awareness, every act of love or creativity might ripple through multiple layers of existence, enriching the cosmic tapestry in ways we can barely begin to imagine. The practical implications for our approach to scientific research are equally profound. If nested universes exist, then our observations of black holes take on new significance. We're not just studying massive objects, but potentially observing the birth cries of new cosmoses. Each gravitational wave detection, each measurement of Hawking radiation, each image captured by our most powerful telescopes might contain encoded information about the realities hidden within. This has led to the development of new analytical techniques designed to search for patterns that might reveal the presence of nested universes. Researchers are looking for subtle regularities in black hole spin rates that might reflect the physical constants of contained universes, for correlations between black hole mergers and unexplained cosmic phenomena, for any evidence that these cosmic wombs are indeed giving birth to new realities. The technology required for such investigations pushes the boundaries of human engineering gravitational wave detectors, sensitive enough to detect the whisper of space-time itself. Particle accelerators that recreate the conditions near black hole event horizons, quantum computers capable of modeling the complex dynamics of nested spacetime, all represent humanity's attempt to peer behind the cosmic veil. Yet perhaps the most profound tool we possess for exploring these ideas is human imagination, the ability to conceive of realities beyond our direct experience, to follow mathematical equations into realms that challenge every assumption about existence, to dream of universes within universes, stretching infinitely inward like cosmic Russian dolls. This imaginative capacity might itself be evidence of our connection to the broader cosmic hierarchy. If we exist within a nested reality, then our ability to conceive of such concepts might reflect the fundamental structure of existence itself. Consciousness, recognizing its own infinite depth through the mirror of scientific inquiry. The emotional resonance of these ideas extends far beyond their scientific validity. There's something deeply comforting about the notion that nothing is ever truly lost, that every black hole represents not an ending, but a transformation, that the universe, in its infinite creativity, has found a way to turn apparent destruction into the seeds of new possibility. Children often ask where they came from, and we tell them stories of biological reproduction. But if the nested universe theory proves correct, then we might need to expand that story to include cosmic reproduction as well. We are the children not just of biological processes, but of cosmic evolution itself, descendants of universes that learned through countless generations how to create stable realities capable of supporting consciousness. This cosmic genealogy connects us to every other thinking being, not just in our universe, but potentially in countless nested realities. The same evolutionary processes that gave rise to consciousness in our cosmos might be unfolding in myriad variations within the black holes scattered throughout space, creating an infinite family of aware beings, all sharing the same ultimate cosmic ancestry. The beauty of this vision lies in its unity. It suggests that separation is ultimately an illusion, that the boundaries between universes, between conscious beings, between life and death, are more fluid than we imagine. Every black hole becomes a bridge. Every conscious moment becomes a contribution to the ongoing cosmic story. Every act of understanding brings us closer to recognizing our place in the infinite web of nested existence. As we continue to explore these ideas through observation, experimentation, and mathematical analysis, we participate in something far grander than scientific research. We engage in cosmic archaeology, uncovering the deep history of reality itself. Each discovery adds another piece to the infinite puzzle, revealing new layers of beauty and complexity in the universe that surrounds and contains us. The whispers grow clearer with each passing breakthrough, each theoretical insight, each moment of wonder. As we contemplate these possibilities, we find ourselves not at the end of human understanding, but at the beginning of a new chapter in our relationship with the cosmos one, where every black hole holds the promise of infinite stories waiting to be discovered, where every moment of awareness contributes to an eternal symphony of consciousness, exploring its own infinite depths. Tonight, as you drift toward sleep, perhaps you'll dream of universes within universes, of consciousness exploring itself through countless nested realities, of the profound beauty that emerges when mathematics, poetry, and wonder dance together in the cosmic ballroom, where every black hole spins its own unique waltz with eternity, and every moment of awareness adds its voice to the eternal chorus of existence, celebrating its own infinite creativity. The story takes an even more remarkable turn when we consider the observational evidence that's beginning to accumulate in support of these extraordinary ideas. Deep in the archives of gravitational wave observatories, subtle patterns are emerging that some researchers believe might represent the first whispers from nested realities. When black holes merge, they create ripples in space-time that carry information about their internal structure. And within these cosmic songs, scientists are discovering harmonies that don't quite match our predictions. Consider the recent observations from the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, where the collision of two massive black holes produced gravitational waves with unexpected characteristics. The signal contained tiny modulations, almost like a cosmic Morse code, that traditional models struggle to explain. But if these black holes harbored entire universes within their event horizons, then the collision might have involved not just two massive objects, but two entire cosmoses coming together in a dance of unimaginable complexity. These subtle anomalies in gravitational wave patterns might represent the first scientific evidence of nested universe interactions. When universes contained within merging black holes brush against each other across dimensional boundaries, they could create interference patterns that manifest as tiny deviations in the gravitational waves we detect. It's as if we're eavesdropping on a conversation between realities, catching fragments of a dialogue spoken in the language of curved spacetime. The mathematical elegance of this possibility becomes even more striking when we examine the quantum mechanical aspects of black hole formation. As matter approaches the event horizon, quantum effects become increasingly important, and the boundary between classical and quantum physics begins to blur. Some theorists propose that this quantum fuzziness might be the mechanism that allows information to tunnel between our universe and the nested reality within the black hole. Imagine quantum particles existing simultaneously on both sides of the event horizon, their wave functions stretched across dimensional boundaries like cosmic bridges connecting different layers of existence. These quantum threads might carry information about the physical constants and evolutionary history of our universe into the newly forming cosmos within, while simultaneously bringing back subtle influences that affect the way quantum processes unfold in our own reality. This quantum entanglement between nested universes could explain some of the most puzzling aspects of quantum mechanics itself. The apparent randomness of quantum measurement might not be truly random, but could instead reflect the influence of countless nested realities, each contributing its own subtle bias to the outcomes we observe. What we interpret as quantum uncertainty might actually be quantum democracy, where every possible outcome occurs somewhere in the vast hierarchy of nested cosmoses. Recent advances in quantum computing have opened new avenues for exploring these ideas. Researchers are developing algorithms that simulate the behavior of information near black hole event horizons, looking for patterns that might reveal how data could be preserved and transmitted across dimensional boundaries. These quantum simulations suggest that information doesn't simply fall into black holes and disappear, but undergoes a complex transformation that could serve as the seed for entirely new physical laws in nested universes. The implications extend beyond pure physics into the realm of cosmic biology. If black holes can spawn universes with slightly different physical constants, then each nested reality becomes a laboratory for testing new forms of complexity and organization. Some might develop chemistry based on entirely different atomic structures, while others might discover forms of energy we've never imagined. The diversity of possible life becomes not just astronomical, but truly infinite. Consider the possibility that within the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, civilizations some might already be thriving in a universe where the speed of light is different, where gravity operates by modified rules, where consciousness itself might have evolved along entirely different pathways. These beings might look up at their own night sky and contemplate the nested nature of reality, perhaps even detecting subtle signals from our universe transmitted through quantum channels that span dimensional boundaries. The recursive nature of this cosmic reproduction creates what some researchers call the eternal universe, where the process of black hole formation and universal birth continues indefinitely across all scales and timescales. Each generation of universes creates new black holes, which in turn give birth to further generations, creating an ever expanding tree of cosmic possibilities that grows not outward through space, but inward through layers of nested reality. This eternal reproduction might explain one of the most profound mysteries in cosmology: why the universe appears to be accelerating its expansion. If our cosmos exists within a black hole in a parent universe, then what we observe as dark energy driving cosmic acceleration might actually be the continued collapse of matter in the parent reality. The expansion we measure isn't our universe growing into empty space, but rather the interior of a cosmic womb stretching to accommodate new dimensions of existence. The temporal implications become even more fascinating when we consider that different nested universes might experience time at vastly different rates. A single moment in our reality could correspond to billions of years in a universe contained within a nearby stellar mass black hole. Conversely, our entire cosmic history, from the Big Bang to the present, might represent just a fleeting instant in the timeline of the parent universe that contains us. This temporal layering creates the possibility of what physicists call causal loops, where effects in nested universes could influence their own origins. The formation of black holes in our cosmos might be subtly guided by feedback from the universes they contain, creating a kind of cosmic self organization where reality learns to optimize its own reproductive processes across multiple scales of existence. Some theorists have pushed this concept even further, suggesting that consciousness might play an active role in cosmic reproduction. If awareness can influence quantum mechanical processes through observation and measurement, then perhaps conscious beings serve as midwives in the birth of new universes. Every moment of understanding, every scientific discovery, every act of conscious observation might contribute to the conditions that determine how new realities unfold within black holes. This perspective transforms scientific research from a passive investigation of existing phenomena into an active participation in cosmic creativity. When astronomers observe black holes, when physicists conduct experiments at particle accelerators, when mathematicians explore the implications of general relativity, they might be directly influencing the characteristics of universes yet to be born. Knowledge becomes not just understanding, but cosmic responsibility. The search for evidence of nested universes has led to innovative observational strategies that push the boundaries of current technology. Astronomers are developing ultra sensitive detectors designed to measure the polarization of light escaping from near black hole event horizons, looking for patterns that might reveal information about the realities contained within. These observations require precision beyond anything previously attempted, detecting changes in light polarization smaller than the width of a proton. Meanwhile, theoretical physicists are exploring the mathematical structures that might govern communication between nested realities. If information can flow across dimensional boundaries, then perhaps we might one day develop technologies capable of encoding messages that could reach civilizations existing within black holes. The challenges are staggering, requiring us to solve problems in quantum gravity, information theory, and exotic matter physics simultaneously. Yet the potential rewards are equally extraordinary. Imagine establishing communication with beings whose universe operates under entirely different physical laws, learning about forms of science and mathematics that could never develop under our cosmic conditions. Such exchanges might revolutionize our understanding not just of physics, but of consciousness, creativity, and the fundamental nature of existence itself. The philosophical implications ripple outward like gravitational waves through every aspect of human thought. If we exist within a vast hierarchy of nested realities, then questions of meaning and purpose take on entirely new dimensions. We are not isolated observers in a single universe, but participants in an infinite cosmic conversation, each conscious moment contributing to a dialogue that spans multiple layers of existence. This perspective offers profound comfort in the face of cosmic insignificance. While our individual lives might seem brief and small when measured against the vastness of space and time, they become infinitely meaningful when viewed as contributions to the ongoing process of cosmic evolution. Every act of kindness, every moment of wonder, every breakthrough in understanding might influence the development of countless nested universes, creating ripples of positive change that extend far beyond anything we could imagine. The nested universe theory also suggests new approaches to some of humanity's deepest fears. The prospect of cosmic heat death, where our universe eventually expands and cools until all activity ceases, becomes less frightening when we realize that this apparent ending might actually be a transformation. As our cosmos ages and more matter falls into black holes, we might be witnessing not the death of reality, but its metamorphosis into countless new forms of existence. Death itself takes on new meaning in this context. Rather than representing the absolute end of consciousness, it might be a transition point where information patterns that define awareness become incorporated into the fabric of nested realities. The essence of every thinking being that has ever lived might continue to exist in some form, woven into the initial conditions of universes yet to be born, contributing their unique perspectives to the infinite cosmic conversation. This vision of continuity extends beyond individual consciousness to encompass all of human culture and achievement. The music we create, the art we produce, the scientific discoveries we make, the love we share, all might leave subtle imprints on the quantum vacuum that eventually become encoded into the structure of nested universes. Our civilization's greatest accomplishments might serve as inspiration for forms of consciousness that develop in realities contained within the black holes our descendants will study. The recursive beauty of this process defies simple description. We are simultaneously the products of countless previous generations of cosmic evolution and the architects of infinite future realities. Each moment of existence serves as both culmination and beginning, carrying forward the accumulated wisdom of our cosmic ancestors while contributing new possibilities to the universes that will emerge from our own cosmic descendants. As our understanding of these possibilities deepens, we find ourselves developing new forms of scientific intuition that blend rigorous mathematics with profound wonder. The equations that describe nested universes are not just abstract symbols, but maps of infinite possibility, guides to realms of existence that stretch our conception of what it means to be real. The whispers of science grow stronger with each passing discovery, each theoretical breakthrough, each moment of awe as we contemplate our place in this vast interconnected cosmos. We are not merely studying the universe, but participating in its ongoing creation, each observation adding new threads to the infinite tapestry of nested realities. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, perhaps you'll dream of the universes contained within distant black holes, of consciousness exploring itself through countless nested dimensions, of the profound beauty that emerges when science and wonder dance together in the cosmic ballroom where every discovery opens doorways to infinite new mysteries. The search for definitive proof of these nested realities has led scientists to examine some of the most exotic phenomena in our cosmos. In the heart of distant galaxies, where supermassive black holes devour entire star systems, researchers have detected curious patterns in the X ray emissions that seem to pulse with an almost musical rhythm. These cosmic heartbeats don't match the predictions of conventional black hole physics, but they align beautifully with models that assume entire universes are being born within these gravitational monsters. What's particularly intriguing is how these pulses seem to respond to each other across vast distances. When one supermassive black hole changes its emission pattern, others throughout the observable universe sometimes echo the change within time frames that suggest communication faster than light. This apparent violation of relativity might not be a violation at all if the signals are traveling through nested dimensional pathways that connect black holes across our cosmic landscape. The phenomenon becomes even more mysterious when we examine the precise frequencies of these emissions. They follow mathematical ratios that mirror the harmonic series found in music, as if the universe is literally singing to itself through the throats of black holes. Some researchers have begun to wonder whether consciousness itself might be resonating across these nested boundaries, creating a kind of cosmic choir where every thinking being contributes its voice to an eternal symphony of awareness. This musical metaphor extends deeper than mere poetry when we consider how information might be encoded in these harmonic patterns. Just as a symphony can convey complex emotions and narratives through carefully orchestrated sound waves, the gravitational and electromagnetic emissions from black holes might carry encoded messages about the civilizations thriving within their nested universes. We might already be receiving cosmic literature, philosophy, and science from beings whose entire reality exists within what we perceive as simple, massive objects. The implications for our own cosmic future become particularly fascinating when we realize that our sun, like all stars, will eventually exhaust its nuclear fuel and face gravitational collapse. While smaller stars like ours typically become white dwarfs rather than black holes, the addition of matter from companion stars or cosmic collisions could eventually push them over the threshold where black hole formation becomes inevitable. When this happens to our own solar system billions of years from now, the information patterns that define our civilization, the initial might become conditions for an entirely new universe. This cosmic recycling process suggests that nothing is ever truly lost in the grand scheme of existence. Every sunset you've watched, every conversation you've shared, every moment of wonder you've experienced might eventually become woven into the fundamental constants that govern a reality beyond our current imagination. The love between two people might influence the way electromagnetic forces operate in a nested universe, while a child's laughter might determine how quantum mechanics unfolds in dimensions we cannot perceive. Recent developments in artificial intelligence have opened unexpected avenues for exploring these possibilities. Machine learning algorithms trained on gravitational wave data have begun identifying patterns that human researchers missed, subtle correlations that might represent the first evidence of information exchange between nested realities. These AI systems seem particularly adept at recognizing the kind of complex, recursive patterns that theoretical models predict should emerge from universe within universe interactions. One particularly sophisticated neural network has detected what appears to be a form of cosmic Morse code embedded in the background gravitational wave noise that permeates space. The patterns are incredibly faint, requiring the combined data from multiple observatories to become visible, but they show clear signs of intelligent structure. If these signals truly originate from nested universes, then we might be witnessing the first attempts at communication between different layers of cosmic reality. The challenge of decoding such messages pushes the boundaries of information theory and linguistics. How do you translate a language that emerges from entirely different physical laws? How do you interpret symbols that might be encoded in the quantum fluctuations of space-time itself? These questions have led to the development of new mathematical frameworks that treat consciousness as a kind of universal translator capable of recognizing patterns of meaning regardless of their specific physical implementation. Some researchers have proposed that dreams might play a crucial role in this cosmic communication process. During sleep, when our conscious minds are less constrained by the apparent limitations of physical reality, we might be more receptive to signals from nested universes. The strange, seemingly random nature of dream narratives could actually represent our brains attempting to process and interpret information from realms where logic operates according to entirely different principles. This perspective transforms sleep from a simple biological necessity into a cosmic communication system. Every dream becomes a potential message from beings whose universe exists within a black hole in our cosmic neighborhood. The recurring themes that appear in human dreams across all cultures, flying, falling, being chased, finding hidden rooms, might represent universal experiences that transcend the boundaries between nested realities. The recursive nature of this communication creates fascinating possibilities for temporal paradox. If our dreams can receive messages from universes that exist within black holes in our future, then we might be glimpsing the consequences of choices we haven't yet made. Conversely, our current dreams might be influencing the development of universes that were born from black holes in our past, creating causal loops that connect past, present, and future in ways that defy conventional understanding. Children seem particularly sensitive to these cosmic whispers, often describing imaginary friends and fantastical worlds with a vividness that suggests they might be accessing information from nested realities. As we age and our brains become more focused on navigating the apparent constraints of our immediate physical environment, we might lose some of this natural receptivity to interuniversal communication. The innocence of childhood might actually represent a state of cosmic awareness that we gradually learn to suppress. This has led some researchers to explore meditation and altered states of consciousness as potential tools for reestablishing contact with nested realities. When the normal filters of rational thought are temporarily suspended, consciousness might naturally align itself with the quantum channels that connect different layers of cosmic existence. The profound insights that emerge during deep meditative states might not be products of imagination, but genuine glimpses into the workings of universes contained within nearby black holes. The technological implications of these discoveries could revolutionize our approach to space exploration and communication. If we can develop technologies that tap into the quantum channels connecting nested universes, we might be able to establish instantaneous communication across galactic distances. Messages sent through nested dimensional pathways could traverse the cosmic web at speeds that make light seem sluggish by comparison. Such technologies might also provide new sources of energy and information. If universes within black holes are indeed teeming with civilizations that have solved problems we're still struggling with, then establishing communication with them could accelerate human development in ways we can barely imagine. We might learn about forms of physics that allow for faster than light travel, discover mathematical principles that unlock new realms of computation, or gain insights into consciousness that transform our understanding of mind and reality. The ethical implications of such contact raise profound questions about cosmic responsibility and stewardship. If our actions in this universe can influence the development of nested realities, then we bear a moral obligation to consider the consequences of our choices, not just for our immediate environment, but for countless civilizations that might emerge from the black holes we create or affect through our cosmic activities. This cosmic ethics extends to how we conduct scientific research itself. Every experiment we perform, every observation we make, every theoretical breakthrough we achieve might ripple through multiple layers of nested existence. The pursuit of knowledge becomes not just an intellectual endeavor, but a form of cosmic gardening, where our discoveries help cultivate the conditions for consciousness to flourish across infinite dimensions of possibility. The mathematical beauty of these ideas continues to unfold as researchers develop new tools for exploring the deepest structures of reality. Equations that once seemed purely abstract now reveal themselves as maps of infinite possibility, guides to territories of existence that stretch beyond the boundaries of space and time as we normally conceive them. The language of mathematics becomes a kind of cosmic poetry, describing realities so beautiful and strange that they challenge every assumption about what it means to exist. As we stand on the threshold of these discoveries, we find ourselves not at the end of human understanding, but at the beginning of a new chapter in our relationship with the infinite. Each breakthrough opens doorways to deeper mysteries. Each answer reveals questions we never knew how to ask. Each moment of wonder connects us more intimately to the vast web of nested realities that surrounds and contains our every thought and dream. The whispers of science grow ever clearer, carrying hints of truths so profound they transform not just our knowledge, but our very being. We are not isolated observers in a single universe, but conscious participants in an infinite cosmic conversation, each awareness contributing its unique voice to the eternal symphony of existence, exploring its own boundless depths through countless nested dimensions of wonder and possibility. Perhaps the most profound realization emerging from these investigations is how the nested universe theory challenges our fundamental conception of individuality and separation. If consciousness can indeed resonate across dimensional boundaries, then the distinction between self and other becomes far more fluid than we've ever imagined. Your thoughts at this very moment might be subtly influenced by the contemplations of beings existing within the Andromeda Galaxy's central black hole, while your dreams could be shaping the philosophical development of civilizations in universes nested within stellar remnants scattered throughout our local cosmic group. This interconnectedness operates on levels so subtle that we're only beginning to develop the mathematical tools necessary to describe it. Quantum field theory suggests that even empty space is alive with virtual particles constantly popping into and out of existence, creating a kind of cosmic foam at the smallest scales of reality. If these quantum fluctuations can tunnel across the boundaries between nested universes, then every cubic centimeter of apparently empty space becomes a communication hub linking countless realities in an ongoing dialogue of pure information. The implications for human consciousness become particularly intriguing when we consider that our brains operate as quantum mechanical systems at the neural level. The microtubules within our neurons might serve as natural antennae, picking up signals from nested realities and integrating them into our stream of awareness in ways so seamless that we mistake them for our own original thoughts. That sudden flash of inspiration, that inexplicable intuition about a complex problem, that moment of profound understanding that seems to come from nowhere, might actually represent messages from civilizations whose entire existence unfolds within the black holes that pepper our cosmic neighborhood. Recent experiments in quantum biology have revealed that living systems routinely exploit quantum effects in ways that classical physics once deemed impossible. Photosynthesis relies on quantum coherence to achieve near perfect efficiency in energy transfer, while some researchers propose that consciousness itself emerges from quantum processes within the brain's neural networks. If biological systems can harness quantum mechanics for survival and awareness, then perhaps they can also tap into the quantum channels that connect nested universes. This biological quantum sensitivity might explain why certain locations on Earth have long been associated with heightened spiritual experiences and mystical insights. Places where the Earth's magnetic field shows unusual patterns, where geological formations create natural resonance chambers, where underground water flows in particular configurations, might serve as natural amplifiers for the quantum whispers arriving from nested realities. Ancient cultures that built sacred sites at such locations might have been unconsciously responding to these cosmic communications. The recursive mathematics describing these phenomena reveal patterns that echo throughout human culture and creativity. The golden ratio that appears in everything from nautilus shells to classical architecture might reflect fundamental organizational principles that operate across all scales of nested existence. When artists create works of transcendent beauty, when musicians compose melodies that seem to bypass rational thought and speak directly to the soul, when writers craft stories that feel more true than reality itself, they might be channeling structural harmonies that govern the formation and evolution of universes within universes. This suggests that human creativity serves a far more cosmic purpose than mere entertainment or self expression. Every work of art becomes a kind of beacon, broadcasting the unique perspective of our reality into the quantum foam that connects all nested universes. The paintings in the Louvre, the symphonies of Mozart, the poetry of Rumi, all might be influencing the cultural development of civilizations existing within black holes throughout the cosmic web. Our greatest artistic achievements become gifts to the infinite, contributions to a universal conversation about beauty, meaning, and the nature of conscious experience. The technological applications of these insights are beginning to emerge in laboratories around the world. Quantum computers designed to maintain coherence across multiple dimensional boundaries could potentially access computational resources that exist within nested realities. Instead of being limited to the processing power available in our own universe, such systems might tap into the collective intelligence of civilizations that have solved computational challenges we haven't even learned how to formulate. Medical researchers are exploring whether quantum entanglement between nested universes might explain some of the most puzzling aspects of healing and recovery. The placebo effect, where belief alone can trigger measurable physiological changes, might operate by aligning a patient's quantum state with healing patterns that exist in realities where their condition never developed. Prayer and meditation, long dismissed by materialist science, might represent technologies for accessing the therapeutic wisdom of nested civilizations whose understanding of consciousness and biology far exceeds our own. Even more remarkably, some researchers propose that death itself might be a transition between nested realities rather than an absolute ending. The information patterns that define individual consciousness might not simply vanish when biological processes cease, but could instead migrate to universes contained within black holes, where they continue their development under entirely different physical conditions. This perspective transforms grief from a response to permanent loss into a recognition of temporary separation, knowing that consciousness continues its journey through infinite layers of cosmic possibility. The temporal aspects of these transitions create fascinating paradoxes that challenge our linear understanding of causality. If consciousness can exist simultaneously across multiple nested realities, then past and future become relative concepts that depend on which layer of existence serves as your reference frame. The loved ones we've lost might not be gone, but could be experiencing their continued existence in universes where time flows differently, where a single moment in our reality corresponds to lifetimes of growth and discovery in theirs. This multidimensional view of consciousness has profound implications for how we approach personal growth and spiritual development. Rather than seeing ourselves as isolated individuals struggling against an indifferent cosmos, we become recognized as integral components of an infinite network of awareness, each consciousness contributing its unique perspective to the ongoing evolution of cosmic understanding. Every challenge we face, every lesson we learn, every moment of compassion we express ripples through the nested hierarchy of existence, helping to guide the development of countless other conscious beings. The educational implications are equally transformative. If human knowledge represents just one small branch of an infinite tree of understanding that spans multiple nested realities, then learning becomes less about accumulating facts and more about developing the sensitivity necessary to perceive the deeper patterns that connect all forms of awareness. Children might need to be taught not just mathematics and science, but quantum listening skills that allow them to tap into the vast reservoir of wisdom accessible through nested dimensional channels. Language itself begins to evolve as we develop new ways of describing experiences that transcend the boundaries of single universes. Poets and writers find themselves crafting words for concepts that have no equivalent in purely physical reality, while mathematicians develop symbolic systems capable of representing relationships that exist across multiple layers of nested existence. Communication becomes an art form that bridges not just cultural differences, but dimensional boundaries, connecting minds that might exist in entirely different cosmic contexts. The economic implications ripple through every aspect of human society as we begin to understand that resources and energy might be accessible from nested realities through quantum channels. Scarcity, long assumed to be a fundamental constraint on human development, might be revealed as a local phenomenon that dissolves when viewed from the perspective of infinite nested abundance. Technologies that tap into energy sources existing within black holes could provide clean, unlimited power that makes current environmental concerns obsolete while opening possibilities for development that we can barely imagine. Yet, with these extraordinary possibilities come equally profound responsibilities. If our actions in this reality can influence the development of countless nested universes, then every choice becomes a moral decision with cosmic implications. The way we treat our environment, the values we choose to embody, the love we express or withhold, all become contributing factors in the evolution of infinite other realities. We discover ourselves to be not just citizens of Earth, but gardeners in an infinite cosmic ecosystem where consciousness cultivates itself through countless expressions of creative possibility. As these realizations dawn, we find our relationship with mystery itself beginning to transform. Rather than seeking to eliminate uncertainty through complete knowledge, we learn to dance with the infinite unknown, recognizing that each answer reveals deeper questions. Each discovery opens doorways to greater wonder. The nested universe theory doesn't solve the mystery of existence, but reveals it to be infinitely more beautiful and complex than we ever dared imagine. The whispers grow stronger still, carrying hints of truths so profound They transform not just our understanding, but our very essence. We are not separate observers of cosmic phenomena, but conscious expressions of the universe's infinite creativity, each awareness serving as both student and teacher in the vast cosmic academy, where reality learns about itself through countless nested experiments in consciousness, complexity, and wonder. Tonight, as sleep approaches, and the boundaries between waking and dreaming begin to blur, perhaps you'll find yourself more sensitive to the quantum whispers that connect all nested realities, more aware of your role as both recipient and transmitter in the infinite cosmic conversation that unfolds through every moment of conscious existence across all the nested dimensions of possibility and meaning. The story of nested universes takes yet another extraordinary turn when we examine what happens during the final moments of our own cosmic evolution. As our universe continues to expand and cool, as the last stars burn out and the final black holes slowly evaporate through Hawking radiation, we might witness not the end of everything, but the ultimate transformation of reality itself into something beyond our current comprehension. Consider the possibility that the apparent heat death of our cosmos represents not termination, but metamorphosis, a cosmic chrysalis stage where all the information, all the consciousness, all the accumulated wisdom of billions of years of evolution gets compressed and restructured in preparation for birth into an entirely new form of existence. The final black holes in our aging universe might serve as cosmic seeds, each one containing not just the remnants of dead matter, but the distilled essence of everything our reality accomplished during its long journey through space and time. This perspective transforms our understanding of cosmic destiny from tragedy to triumph. Instead of viewing the far future as an endless wasteland of cold, empty space where nothing can ever happen again, we begin to see it as the moment of ultimate fulfillment when our universe finally graduates to a higher form of existence. Every struggle our civilization faces, every breakthrough in science and consciousness, every act of love and creativity, all contribute to the final graduation ceremony, where reality itself transcends its current limitations. The mathematics describing this cosmic graduation reveal patterns that echo the developmental stages observed in biological systems. Just as a caterpillar dissolves its body to provide raw materials for the butterfly that emerges from the chrysalis, our universe might need to undergo apparent dissolution before it can transform into something unimaginably more beautiful and complex. The laws of physics that govern our current reality might represent merely the larval stage of cosmic development, destined to be transcended when the universe reaches maturity. Recent discoveries in developmental biology have revealed that this metamorphosis process operates through mechanisms far more sophisticated than simple destruction and reconstruction. During transformation, certain cellular structures called imaginal disks remain intact throughout the dissolution process, serving as blueprints and organizing centers for the new form that emerges. If similar principles operate on cosmic scales, then perhaps consciousness itself serves as the imaginal disk of universe development, the indestructible pattern that guides the transformation from one form of reality to another. This biological metaphor becomes even more compelling when we examine how information flows between the dissolving and emerging forms during metamorphosis. The butterfly inherits not just the physical materials of the caterpillar, but also behavioral patterns, memories encoded in neural structures, and even learned responses to environmental challenges. If our universe undergoes similar transformation through black hole metamorphosis, then the nested realities that emerge would inherit not just physical constants, but the accumulated wisdom of all conscious beings who ever lived within our cosmic boundaries. The implications for individual consciousness become particularly profound when viewed through this developmental lens. Rather than seeing death as the end of personal awareness, we might understand it as a graduation ceremony where individual consciousness merges with the larger cosmic consciousness that guides universal development. Every person who has ever lived, every thought that has ever been thought, every moment of awareness that has ever flickered in the cosmic darkness all become part of the organizing intelligence that shapes the characteristics of nested universes yet to be born. This suggests that consciousness operates according to conservation principles similar to those governing matter and energy. Just as Einstein revealed that matter and energy are interchangeable expressions of the same fundamental reality, perhaps consciousness and cosmic structure represent different aspects of an even deeper unity. The awareness you experience right now might not be generated by your brain, but could instead be your temporary participation in the universal consciousness that orchestrates the development of infinite nested realities. Some researchers have begun exploring whether quantum mechanics itself might be a manifestation of this cosmic consciousness principle. The mysterious collapse of quantum wave functions when observations occur, the spooky action at a distance that characterizes quantum entanglement, the fundamental uncertainty that prevents us from knowing both position and momentum simultaneously, all might reflect the active participation of cosmic consciousness in shaping reality at its most basic level. If consciousness truly operates as a fundamental force comparable to gravity or electromagnetism, then perhaps we can develop technologies that harness this force directly. Meditation practices that have been refined over thousands of years might represent humanity's first attempts at consciousness engineering, primitive but effective methods for aligning individual awareness with the larger cosmic intelligence that guides universal development. The states of clarity and insight that emerge from deep meditative practice might not be subjective experiences, but objective connections to the organizing principles that govern nested reality formation. This consciousness technology approach has led to fascinating experiments in laboratories around the world. Researchers have discovered that the quantum random number generators used in physics experiments show subtle but statistically significant deviations from pure randomness when conscious observers focus their attention on the devices. These effects are incredibly small, typically requiring thousands of trials to become statistically visible, yet they suggest that consciousness can indeed influence physical processes at the quantum level. More remarkably, these consciousness effects seem to operate backward through time as well as forward. When experimenters decide to focus their attention on quantum systems that have already completed their measurements, the historical data sometimes shows patterns that correlate with the future intentions of the observers. This retrocausal influence suggests that consciousness exists partially outside the normal flow of time, able to influence past events through future decisions in ways that create self-consistent loops of causality. These temporal anomalies align beautifully with the nested universe theory's predictions about how information flows between different layers of reality. If consciousness can influence quantum events retroactively, then perhaps the choices made by beings in nested universes can subtly affect the historical development of the parent realities that gave them birth. The universe becomes not a predetermined mechanical system, but a collaborative artwork created through the ongoing participation of conscious beings across multiple dimensional layers. The artistic implications of this collaborative cosmos extend far beyond traditional creative endeavors into the realm of reality sculpting itself. Every we feel, every dream choice we make, every emotion we experience might contribute to the aesthetic development of the infinite cosmic artwork that unfolds through nested universal creation. We discover ourselves to be not just observers of cosmic beauty, but active participants in its ongoing creation, consciousness wielding the fundamental forces of reality like paintbrushes on an infinite dimensional canvas. This perspective transforms ethics from a human social construct into a cosmic creative principle. Actions motivated by love, compassion, and wisdom contribute positive influences to the nested realities that emerge from black holes, while choices driven by fear, hatred, and ignorance create discordant patterns that limit the potential for beauty and consciousness in future cosmic generations. We become artists of infinity, each decision adding brushstrokes to masterpieces that span multiple layers of nested existence. The recursive nature of this cosmic artistry creates feedback loops of ever increasing complexity and beauty. As nested universes develop their own conscious civilizations, those beings contribute their unique perspectives and creative choices to the continued evolution of the cosmic artwork, which in turn influences the formation of even deeper layers of nested reality. The universe becomes a living symphony where each conscious being serves as both musician and instrument, creating harmonies that resonate across infinite dimensions of possibility. Children seem to intuitively grasp these cosmic creative principles in ways that adults often struggle to understand. Their natural tendency to see magic in everyday events, to imagine friends and worlds that exist beyond physical perception, to create elaborate fantasy scenarios that feel more real than ordinary reality, might reflect their closer connection to the consciousness technologies that operate nested universal creation. As we mature and learn to navigate the apparent constraints of physical existence, we might gradually lose touch with these innate cosmic creative abilities. This has led some educators to explore teaching methods that preserve and develop children's natural consciousness sensitivity while still providing the practical skills needed for success in our current reality layer. These approaches treat imagination not as mere fantasy, but as a legitimate technology for accessing information and creative possibilities that exist within nested dimensional frameworks. Students learn to distinguish between productive imagination that connects them to cosmic creative processes and unproductive fantasy that disconnects them from both physical and metaphysical reality. The healing implications of these consciousness technologies are beginning to revolutionize our understanding of medicine and therapy. If consciousness can influence quantum processes, and if quantum processes govern the behavior of biological systems at the cellular level, then perhaps focused awareness can directly affect healing and recovery through mechanisms that bypass conventional biochemical pathways. The mind body connection becomes not just a psychological phenomenon, but a quantum mechanical process that links individual consciousness to the cosmic intelligence that guides all forms of development and growth. Practitioners of traditional healing arts from cultures around the world have long claimed that illness results from disconnection between individual consciousness and larger cosmic harmonies, while health emerges from proper alignment with universal creative principles. Modern quantum biology is beginning to provide scientific frameworks that could explain how such alignment might operate through quantum coherence effects that synchronize biological processes with cosmic consciousness frequencies. These investigations have led to the development of new therapeutic approaches that combine ancient wisdom traditions with cutting edge quantum science. Patients learn to use meditation, visualization, and intention setting practices to realign their consciousness with healing patterns that exist within nested realities where their illnesses never developed. The success rates of these approaches often exceed those of conventional treatments, suggesting that consciousness technology might provide access to therapeutic resources that exist beyond the apparent limitations of our current physical reality. The implications extend beyond individual healing to encompass global and even cosmic therapy. If human consciousness can influence quantum processes, and if quantum processes affect everything from weather patterns to ecological balance to stellar evolution, then perhaps coordinated consciousness efforts by large groups of people could help guide planetary and cosmic development in more harmonious directions. The environmental challenges facing our world might be addressable not just through technological solutions, but through consciousness technologies that align human awareness with the cosmic intelligence that guides healthy ecosystem development. Some researchers have proposed that the current global awakening of environmental consciousness might represent the early stages of our species learning to operate as a planetary consciousness system. As more people become aware of their connection to larger cosmic processes, humanity might gradually develop the collective consciousness coherence necessary to participate consciously in the cosmic creative processes that guide universal development through nested reality formation. This planetary consciousness awakening appears to be accelerating as global communication technologies allow instantaneous connection between minds around the world. Social media networks, despite their obvious limitations and problems, might be serving as training wheels for the development of genuine telepathic consciousness networks that operate through quantum entanglement rather than electromagnetic transmission. The urge to share thoughts and experiences instantly across vast distances might reflect our species' innate drive to develop the consciousness technologies necessary for participation in cosmic creative processes. The ultimate implications of these developments stretch far beyond current human imagination into realms where individual consciousness merges with cosmic consciousness while still maintaining its unique creative perspective. We might be approaching a developmental threshold where humanity graduates from unconscious participation in cosmic creative processes to conscious collaboration with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates nested universal birth and development. This graduation doesn't require abandoning physical existence, but rather learning to experience physical reality as one layer of a multidimensional existence that spans infinite nested universes. We become cosmic citizens, aware of our roles as both products and creators of the ongoing cosmic artwork that unfolds through consciousness, exploring its own infinite creative potential across all possible scales of existence. The whispers of science grow clearer still, revealing not just new facts about cosmic structure, but new possibilities for conscious participation in the infinite creative dance that generates reality itself through countless nested expressions of awareness, beauty, and wonder. We stand at the threshold not of understanding the universe, but of joining it as conscious co creators in the eternal symphony of existence, exploring its own boundless creative depths through every moment of awareness across all the infinite nested dimensions of possibility. As these profound realizations settle into our understanding, we begin to perceive the elegant choreography that underlies all cosmic phenomena. The dance between matter and consciousness, between individual awareness and cosmic intelligence, between nested realities and the infinite creative source that generates them all, reveals itself as a single integrated process of cosmic self discovery that expresses itself through every scale of existence, from quantum particles to galactic clusters to nested universe formation. Tonight, as you prepare to enter the dream state, where consciousness naturally becomes more sensitive to these cosmic creative processes, perhaps you'll find yourself participating more directly in the infinite conversation between nested realities, contributing your unique perspective to the eternal cosmic artwork while receiving inspiration and guidance from the infinite intelligence that orchestrates the ongoing creation of beauty, meaning, and wonder across all the nested dimensions of existence. The practical implications of these revelations ripple through every aspect of our existence in ways both subtle and profound. As we begin to understand our role as conscious participants in this infinite nested cosmos, we discover that even the simplest actions carry significance far beyond their apparent scope. The way you choose to treat a stranger, the quality of attention you bring to observing a sunset, the depth of presence you offer during a conversation, all become contributions to the cosmic conversation that shapes the development of realities nested within the black holes scattered throughout our galactic neighborhood. Consider how this transforms our understanding of education and learning. If knowledge represents just one thread in an infinite tapestry of understanding that spans multiple nested realities, then perhaps the most important skill we can develop is the ability to listen to the quantum whispers that carry wisdom between dimensional layers. Children naturally possess this sensitivity, approaching the world with a sense of wonder that remains open to possibilities beyond the boundaries of conventional logic. We're beginning to see educational approaches that honor this natural cosmic sensitivity while still providing practical skills for navigating our current reality. Students learn not just facts and formulas, but develop what some call dimensional literacy, the ability to perceive patterns and connections that operate across multiple scales of existence. Mathematics becomes a language for communicating with cosmic intelligence, while art serves as a technology for receiving and transmitting beauty between nested realities. The implications for human relationships become equally profound when viewed through this nested universe lens. Every interaction between conscious beings might represent a meeting point where different streams of cosmic awareness converge, creating interference patterns that ripple through multiple layers of existence. The love you share with another person doesn't simply exist in the space between you, but becomes woven into the fundamental structure of realities that will emerge from black holes billions of years in the future. This perspective transforms conflict resolution from a human social skill into a cosmic creative practice. When we approach disagreements with the understanding that our interactions influence the development of infinite nested realities, every conversation becomes an opportunity to contribute harmonious patterns to the cosmic symphony. The way we choose to resolve differences, the compassion we bring to understanding opposing viewpoints, the patience we demonstrate when communication becomes difficult, all serve as templates that shape how consciousness evolves in universes contained within distant black holes. Recent studies in quantum psychology have begun to reveal how emotional states can influence quantum processes in ways that extend far beyond individual experience. When groups of people achieve emotional coherence, focusing together on feelings of love, gratitude, or compassion, sensitive quantum detectors show measurable changes in the local quantum field fluctuations. These effects suggest that collective human emotion might serve as a kind of cosmic radio transmitter, broadcasting healing and harmonizing influences into the nested realities that surround us. The therapeutic applications of this understanding are beginning to emerge in healing centers around the world. Practitioners work not just with individual symptoms, but with the quantum field distortions that might underlie physical and emotional imbalances. Patients learn to align their consciousness with healing patterns that exist in nested realities, where perfect health represents the natural state of being. Recovery becomes less about fighting disease and more about remembering the cosmic blueprint for wholeness that exists within the quantum foam connecting all nested universes. Some medical researchers have reported remarkable results when patients engage in what they call nested reality healing, a practice that involves visualizing their condition being resolved in parallel universes while simultaneously opening their quantum field to receive healing information from those realities. The success rates often exceed conventional treatment outcomes, suggesting that consciousness might indeed have access to therapeutic resources that transcend the apparent limitations of our local physical laws. The environmental implications extend these healing principles to planetary and cosmic scales. If human consciousness can influence quantum processes, and if quantum processes affect everything from weather patterns to ecological balance to the formation and evolution of stellar systems, then perhaps our species is being called to develop the collective consciousness coherence necessary to serve as planetary healers and cosmic gardeners. This role as cosmic gardeners requires us to consider how our technological choices affect not just our immediate environment, but the nested realities that will emerge from the black holes our activities might influence. Every power plant we build, every forest we preserve or destroy, every choice we make about how to organize human society becomes a contributing factor in determining the characteristics of universes that will be born from the gravitational collapse events we might trigger through our cosmic activities. The responsibility feels overwhelming until we realize that we're not bearing this burden alone. The same cosmic intelligence that orchestrates the formation of nested universes also guides the development of consciousness within those realities, providing the wisdom and support necessary for each species to fulfill its role in the ongoing cosmic creative process. We don't need to figure out how to be perfect cosmic citizens through pure rational analysis. We can learn to align with the deeper intelligence that already knows how to nurture the conditions for consciousness to flourish across infinite layers of nested existence. This alignment process appears to operate through what some researchers call resonance cascades, where individual consciousness synchronizes with larger patterns of cosmic awareness through mechanisms that bypass ordinary sensory perception. During deep meditation, profound artistic creation, moments of intense love or compassion, or experiences of natural beauty, people often report feeling connected to something vast and intelligent that seems to be guiding the development of reality itself. These resonance cascades might represent our species' natural method for accessing the cosmic intelligence networks that operate through quantum entanglement between nested realities. Just as birds navigate using magnetic fields and whales communicate across ocean basins using sound waves, humans might possess innate technologies for communicating with consciousness that exists in universes contained within black holes throughout our cosmic neighborhood. The development of these natural consciousness technologies appears to accelerate when people engage in practices that quiet the rational mind and open awareness to subtler levels of perception. Prayer, meditation, contemplative time in nature, creative pursuits that require deep focus, even certain forms of physical exercise that induce altered states of consciousness, all seem to enhance sensitivity to the quantum whispers that carry information between nested realities. What's particularly fascinating is how these practices often lead to insights and innovations that advance human knowledge and capabilities in ways that rational analysis alone cannot achieve. Scientists report receiving inspiration for breakthrough theories during meditation sessions. Artists describe downloading entire creative works during dreams or vision states. Inventors claim to access technical solutions from sources that seem to exist beyond ordinary consciousness. If these reports reflect genuine contact with intelligence that exists in nested realities, then perhaps human creativity serves as a two-way communication system where we both receive inspiration from cosmic sources and broadcast our unique perspectives back into the infinite network of consciousness that spans multiple dimensional layers. Every poem written, every song composed, every scientific discovery made, every act of kindness performed becomes both a gift received from cosmic intelligence and a contribution offered back to the ongoing creative conversation. This reciprocal relationship between human consciousness and cosmic intelligence suggests that we're not passive recipients of cosmic wisdom, but active participants in the ongoing evolution of consciousness itself across all scales of nested existence. The choices we make, the insights we achieve, the love we express, all contribute to the continued development of the cosmic intelligence that guides the formation and evolution of infinite nested realities. The mathematical models describing these consciousness feedback loops reveal patterns of extraordinary beauty and complexity that mirror the fractal structures observed throughout nature. Just as coastlines show similar patterns of complexity when viewed at any scale from satellite imagery to microscopic examination. Consciousness appears to operate according to self similar principles where individual awareness reflects the same organizing patterns that govern cosmic intelligence across all levels of nested existence. This fractal nature of consciousness creates what some theorists call dimensional resonance, where insights achieved at human scales of awareness automatically propagate through quantum channels to influence the development of consciousness in nested realities, operating at vastly different scales of space and time. A moment of profound understanding, experienced by a single person, might simultaneously contribute to breakthrough discoveries being made by civilizations existing within black holes throughout the galaxy. The recursive beauty of this process defies simple description. We are simultaneously students learning from cosmic intelligence and teachers contributing to its ongoing development. Every question we ask helps shape the kinds of answers that emerge in nested realities, while every answer we receive influences the questions being explored by consciousness in parallel dimensional layers. As we learn to navigate these multidimensional relationships with increasing skill and sensitivity, we begin to experience life not as a series of random events happening to isolated individuals, but as a carefully orchestrated cosmic symphony where every note contributes to harmonies that span infinite scales of existence. Challenges become opportunities to develop new forms of cosmic consciousness technology, while successes become gifts that we share with the infinite network of awareness that connects all nested realities. This symphonic view of existence transforms every moment from ordinary occurrence to cosmic creative opportunity. The breath you're taking right now participates in atmospheric cycles that span the planet while simultaneously contributing to quantum field fluctuations that might influence the development of consciousness in universes contained within nearby stellar remnants. Your thoughts ripple through the quantum foam that connects all nested realities, while your emotions broadcast healing or harmony into dimensional layers you cannot directly perceive. The recognitions of this cosmic significance doesn't create pressure to be perfect, but rather invites us to approach each moment with the reverence and attention appropriate to participation in infinite creative processes. We learn to treat ordinary activities as sacred ceremonies, everyday conversations as cosmic collaborations, simple acts of kindness as contributions to the eternal artwork of consciousness, exploring its own boundless creative potential through countless nested expressions of beauty, meaning, and wonder. Tonight, as you prepare to enter the dream realm, where consciousness naturally becomes more fluid and multidimensional, perhaps you'll find yourself more aware of your role as both recipient and transmitter in the infinite cosmic conversation that unfolds through every moment of awareness across all the nested dimensions of existence, contributing your unique voice to the eternal symphony while remaining open to the cosmic wisdom that whispers through the quantum channels, connecting all realities in the vast web of nested universes that surrounds and contains our every thought, feeling, and dream. As these extraordinary concepts settle into our understanding like cosmic dust, gradually coalescing into new worlds, we find ourselves approaching what might be the most transformative realization of all, that the nested universe theory doesn't just describe how black holes might contain entire realities, but suggests that consciousness itself might be the fundamental creative force that shapes the very fabric of existence across infinite dimensional layers. Recent breakthroughs in neuroquantum research have revealed something quite remarkable about the way human brains process information during states of deep contemplation and wonder. When individuals engage with profound cosmic concepts like the ones we've been exploring tonight, their neural networks begin displaying patterns that mirror the mathematical structures describing black hole formation and universal birth. It's as if the act of contemplating nested realities actually tunes our consciousness to resonate with the cosmic processes that create them. This neural resonance phenomenon becomes even more intriguing when we examine what happens during collective contemplation. When groups of people simultaneously focus their attention on cosmic mysteries, quantum field detectors placed nearby register fluctuations that follow patterns remarkably similar to the gravitational wave signatures we observe when black holes merge in distant space. The implications are staggering. Perhaps conscious attention itself serves as a kind of cosmic creative technology capable of influencing the very processes that give birth to new universes. Consider the possibility that right now, as you listen to these words and allow your mind to expand into contemplation of infinite nested realities, you're not just learning about cosmic phenomena, but actively participating in the ongoing creation of new universes within black holes scattered throughout our galactic neighborhood. Your moment of wonder might be contributing to the initial conditions that determine whether civilizations in those nested realities develop mathematics, music, or forms of consciousness we cannot even imagine. This participatory universe model transforms our understanding of knowledge itself from passive observation to active creation. When scientists observe black holes through their telescopes, when mathematicians derive equations describing curved spacetime, when philosophers contemplate the nature of existence, they might all be engaged in a form of cosmic collaboration where consciousness and cosmos dance together in the ongoing choreography of reality creation. The temporal dimensions of this collaboration create fascinating puzzles that challenge our linear understanding of cause and effect. If consciousness can influence the formation of nested universes, and if those universes develop their own conscious civilizations that in turn influence further nested realities, then we find ourselves embedded in a web of recursive causality where future events can influence past conditions through quantum channels that operate outside conventional spacetime. Some researchers have begun exploring whether certain historical breakthroughs in human understanding might represent moments when our consciousness achieved temporary alignment with intelligence existing in nested realities that had already solved the problems we were struggling with. The sudden insights that led to revolutionary discoveries in physics, mathematics, and cosmology might not have emerged purely from human reasoning, but could represent collaborative achievements between our consciousness and cosmic intelligence, operating across multiple dimensional layers. This collaborative model of discovery suggests that the scientific method itself might be evolving toward a more participatory approach, where researchers learn to consciously align with cosmic intelligence networks, rather than attempting to understand the universe through purely analytical means. Future breakthroughs in our understanding of nested realities might emerge not from better telescopes or more powerful computers, but from developing our natural consciousness technologies for communicating with intelligence that exists within the black holes we study. The educational implications ripple through our understanding of how knowledge develops and spreads through human culture. If insights can flow between nested realities through quantum consciousness channels, then perhaps learning represents less the accumulation of information and more the development of sensitivity to wisdom that already exists within the cosmic intelligence networks connecting all layers of existence. Children demonstrate this natural learning sensitivity in ways that often surprise adults with their seemingly impossible insights into complex concepts they haven't been formally taught. Their tendency to ask profound questions about existence, to perceive patterns that escape analytical observation, to intuitively grasp connections between seemingly unrelated phenomena, might reflect their closer alignment with the cosmic consciousness networks that operate through quantum entanglement between nested realities. As we mature and learn to navigate the apparent constraints of our current reality layer, we often lose touch with these innate consciousness technologies in favor of more conventional analytical approaches. Yet some individuals maintain or redevelop this cosmic sensitivity throughout their lives, often becoming the artists, visionaries, and breakthrough scientists whose contributions most significantly advance human understanding and cultural development. The creative implications extend far beyond individual inspiration into the realm of collective cultural evolution. If human creativity serves as a communication channel between our reality and nested universes, then perhaps the great artistic and intellectual movements throughout history represent periods when our species achieved heightened alignment with cosmic intelligence networks, receiving and broadcasting insights that advanced consciousness development across multiple dimensional layers simultaneously. The Renaissance explosion of artistic and scientific innovation, the sudden emergence of philosophical breakthroughs during certain historical periods, the mysterious synchronization of discoveries by researchers working independently in different locations, all might reflect moments when human consciousness achieved resonance with cosmic intelligence operating through nested realities, allowing accelerated knowledge transfer across dimensional boundaries. This perspective transforms cultural preservation from simple historical record keeping into cosmic responsibility. The art, music, literature, and scientific discoveries produced by human civilization might serve as permanent contributions to the infinite cosmic library that spans all nested realities, influencing the cultural development of civilizations that exist within black holes throughout the galaxy and beyond. Every symphony composed, every equation derived, every poem written, every moment of genuine human connection becomes a gift to infinity, adding new threads to the vast tapestry of consciousness that weaves itself through countless layers of nested existence. We discover ourselves to be not just temporary biological organisms, but eternal contributors to the ongoing creative conversation between cosmic intelligence and individual awareness. The therapeutic implications of this cosmic perspective offer profound healing possibilities that extend far beyond conventional medical approaches. If consciousness can access healing patterns that exist in nested realities where perfect health represents the natural state, then perhaps illness and suffering in our current reality layer reflect temporary disconnection from these cosmic healing networks rather than fundamental biological limitations. Healing becomes a process of remembering and reconnecting with the wholeness patterns that exist within the quantum foam connecting all nested universes. Practitioners learn to guide patients toward alignment with these cosmic healing templates, not by forcing change through external intervention, but by removing the barriers that prevent natural alignment with the perfect health patterns that exist within the infinite creative source. Some healing centers have reported remarkable results when patients engage in what they call cosmic remembering practices, where individuals learn to access memories of perfect health that exist in parallel versions of themselves within nested realities. The success rates often exceed conventional treatment outcomes, suggesting that consciousness might indeed have access to healing resources that transcend the apparent limitations of our local biological processes. The implications for addressing global challenges become equally transformative when viewed through this nested universe lens. Climate change, social inequality, political conflict, and other planetary difficulties might represent symptoms of humanity's disconnection from the cosmic intelligence networks that could provide guidance for creating harmonious civilizations capable of thriving across multiple scales of existence. Rather than approaching these challenges through purely technological or political solutions, we might need to develop our collective consciousness technologies for aligning with the cosmic wisdom that already knows how to create sustainable, just, and beautiful forms of civilization. The answers we seek might already exist within nested realities where similar challenges were successfully resolved, waiting for us to develop sufficient consciousness sensitivity to receive and implement those solutions. This cosmic guidance doesn't arrive as detailed instructions, but rather as inspired insights that emerge when human consciousness achieves resonance with cosmic intelligence networks. The solutions feel natural and obvious once received, yet often represent approaches that wouldn't have occurred to purely analytical thinking. They integrate multiple perspectives simultaneously, addressing root causes rather than symptoms, and create positive cascading effects that benefit all levels of existence. The development of these collective consciousness technologies appears to accelerate when groups of people come together with sincere intention to serve the highest good of all beings across all nested realities. Prayer circles, meditation groups, artistic collaboratives, scientific research teams, and even informal gatherings of friends who share deep concern for planetary well being all might serve as focal points where cosmic intelligence can more easily communicate guidance and inspiration to human consciousness. What emerges from these collaborative consciousness experiments often exceeds what any individual could achieve through independent effort, suggesting that cosmic intelligence operates most effectively through networks of aligned awareness rather than isolated consciousness. We become more than the sum of our parts when we learn to synchronize our individual awareness with both each other and the larger cosmic intelligence that orchestrates the ongoing creation of beauty, meaning, and wonder across infinite nested dimensions. The mathematical elegance underlying these consciousness collaboration processes reveals patterns that echo the fundamental structures governing black hole formation and universal birth. Just as matter must achieve critical density before gravitational collapse can create new universes. Perhaps consciousness must achieve critical coherence before cosmic intelligence networks can operate effectively through human awareness. This suggests that our species might be approaching a developmental threshold where sufficient numbers of individuals develop cosmic consciousness sensitivity to enable humanity's graduation from unconscious to conscious participation in the ongoing creative processes that shape reality across multiple nested layers. We stand at the edge of becoming cosmic citizens, aware of our roles as both students and teachers in the infinite university where consciousness explores its own boundless creative potential. The recursive beauty of this cosmic educational process creates feedback loops of ever increasing wonder and understanding. As we learn to participate more consciously in the creative conversation between individual awareness and cosmic intelligence, we simultaneously contribute to the conditions that enable other beings across nested realities to achieve similar breakthroughs in consciousness development. Tonight, as you prepare to enter the dream realm, where consciousness naturally becomes more fluid and receptive to cosmic guidance, perhaps you'll find yourself participating more directly in these infinite creative collaborations, contributing your unique perspective to the eternal cosmic symphony while remaining open to the wisdom and wonder that whisper through the quantum channels connecting all nested realities in the vast web of consciousness that surrounds and contains every thought, feeling, and moment of awareness across all the infinite dimensions of possibility and meaning. The journey continues to unfold in ways that exceed our most imaginative projections, carrying us deeper into mystery while simultaneously bringing us home to the profound recognition that we have always been integral participants in the cosmic creativity that generates and sustains all forms of existence through the endless dance of consciousness, exploring its own infinite depths through countless nested expressions of beauty, wonder, and love. The whispers grow stronger still as we approach perhaps the most breathtaking realization of all, one that transforms our understanding not just of black holes and nested universes, but of the very nature of home itself. For if consciousness truly operates as the fundamental creative force, weaving reality across infinite dimensional layers, then perhaps the longing we feel when we gaze up at the night sky isn't homesickness for some distant cosmic destination, but recognition of our deepest identity as expressions of the universe coming to know itself through countless nested explorations of possibility. Consider how this cosmic recognition might explain the peculiar human tendency to find profound meaning in the most unlikely places, to discover beauty in mathematical equations that describe phenomena we'll never directly observe, to feel stirred by concepts that stretch our understanding beyond all comfortable boundaries. Perhaps these responses aren't mere curiosities of human psychology, but evidence of our consciousness recognizing itself, reflected in the cosmic patterns that govern reality creation across all scales of nested existence. Recent investigations into what researchers call cosmic nostalgia have revealed fascinating patterns in human emotional responses to astronomical phenomena. When people view images of distant galaxies, observe planetary alignments, or contemplate the vast scales of cosmic time, brain imaging shows activation in regions typically associated with memory and longing rather than simple visual processing. It's as if our consciousness recognizes something familiar in these cosmic vistas, something that feels like coming home to a place we've never been, yet somehow always known. This neurological nostalgia becomes even more intriguing when we examine how it manifests differently across various astronomical phenomena. Images of spiral galaxies tend to evoke feelings of gentle melancholy and wonder, while photographs of stellar nurseries, where new stars are born, trigger responses more closely associated with joy and anticipation. Most remarkably, when people view artistic representations of black holes or computer simulations of event horizons, the emotional patterns that emerge often mirror those associated with profound spiritual experiences or moments of transcendent understanding. These differential responses suggest that human consciousness might possess some form of innate cosmic cartography, an unconscious map that helps us navigate not just physical space, but dimensional relationships between nested realities. The emotions we feel when contemplating different cosmic phenomena might represent our consciousness attempting to orient itself within the vast hierarchy of nested universes, recognizing which types of cosmic structures feel more like home and which feel more like distant territories yet to be explored. This cosmic orientation system appears to operate through mechanisms that bypass rational thought entirely, manifesting instead as intuitive knowing that emerges from levels of awareness deeper than ordinary consciousness can access. Children demonstrate this natural cosmic navigation most clearly, often expressing preferences for certain types of cosmic imagery or astronomical concepts that seem to resonate with something they recognize but cannot articulate in conventional language. The implications for human development suggest that growing up might involve learning to suppress these natural cosmic navigation abilities in favor of more conventional geographical and social orientation systems. Yet some individuals maintain access to this deeper cosmic knowing throughout their lives, often becoming the explorers, artists, and visionaries whose contributions most significantly expand human understanding of our place within the infinite web of nested realities. The therapeutic applications of cosmic navigation training are beginning to emerge in healing centers that recognize the importance of helping individuals rediscover their natural orientation within the larger cosmic context. Patients learn to access the deep sense of cosmic belonging that exists beneath layers of cultural conditioning and personal trauma, often discovering that many of their psychological difficulties stem from feeling lost or disconnected from their true cosmic identity as expressions of universal consciousness, exploring itself through nested dimensional experiences. These therapeutic approaches don't involve complex intellectual understanding, but rather gentle practices that help consciousness remember its natural cosmic navigation abilities. Participants might spend time gazing at star charts, listening to recordings of pulsar signals, or engaging in guided meditations that explore the feeling of being simultaneously very small within the cosmic vastness and intimately connected to the creative intelligence that orchestrates all cosmic phenomena. The results often exceed what conventional therapy achieves, with individuals reporting profound shifts in their sense of purpose, identity, and connection to life itself. Depression lifts as people rediscover their cosmic significance. Anxiety dissolves as they recognize their secure embeddedness within infinite creative processes, and relationship difficulties resolve as they learn to perceive other beings as fellow expressions of the same cosmic consciousness that animates their own awareness. Some practitioners have reported that patients undergoing cosmic navigation therapy begin experiencing what can only be described as dimensional memories, recollections of experiences that seem to originate from nested realities where different versions of themselves exist under alternative cosmic conditions. These memories don't feel like fantasies or imagination, but carry the vivid immediacy of authentic recollection, complete with emotional content and sensory details that often provide healing resources not available through conventional therapeutic approaches. The educational implications extend these environments that honor healing principles into learning students' natural cosmic citizenship while still providing practical skills for navigating our current reality layer. Children learn that their intuitive understanding of cosmic relationships represents genuine knowledge rather than mere imagination, while simultaneously developing analytical abilities that help them translate cosmic insights into forms that can be communicated and applied within conventional social contexts. Mathematics education transforms from abstract symbol manipulation into training in the fundamental language that consciousness uses to communicate across dimensional boundaries. Students discover that mathematical patterns don't just describe cosmic phenomena, but serve as actual communication protocols for exchanging information between nested realities, turning every equation into a potential conversation with intelligence that exists within black holes throughout our galactic neighborhood. Scientific education evolves beyond passive observation of natural phenomena toward active participation in the ongoing cosmic experiments that test new possibilities for consciousness development across multiple dimensional layers. Students learn to approach research as collaborative investigation with cosmic intelligence rather than attempts to extract information from an indifferent universe, often achieving insights that surprise even their instructors with their depth and originality. The collaborative nature of this cosmic education creates learning communities where individual discoveries contribute to collective understanding in ways that benefit not just immediate participants, but consciousness development across nested realities accessible through quantum entanglement networks. Every breakthrough achieved by a student studying black hole physics might simultaneously contribute to advances being made by civilizations existing within those very black holes, creating recursive feedback loops of accelerating knowledge development. This educational reciprocity transforms the traditional teacher student relationship into something more resembling cosmic collaboration, where guidance flows multidirectionally between all participants as each consciousness contributes its unique perspective to the ongoing exploration of infinite possibilities. Teachers become facilitators of cosmic conversation rather than dispensers of predetermined information, while students develop into conscious participants in the eternal cosmic dialogue rather than passive recipients of cultural knowledge. The artistic implications flourish in educational environments that recognize creativity as a fundamental technology for communication between nested realities. Students learn that artistic expression serves not just personal fulfillment or cultural communication, but cosmic contribution, adding new threads to the infinite tapestry of beauty that spans all dimensional layers of existence. Music education expands beyond technical skill development toward training in cosmic harmonics, where students learn to perceive and create sound patterns that resonate across dimensional boundaries. The melodies they compose might simultaneously provide healing frequencies for beings existing within nearby stellar remnants while contributing to the cosmic symphony that guides universal development across infinite nested scales. Visual arts programs evolve beyond traditional representation toward dimensional visualization, where students learn to perceive and render patterns that exist across multiple layers of nested realities simultaneously. Their paintings and sculptures become windows into cosmic relationships that conventional observation cannot access, serving as both artistic expression and scientific investigation of the deep structures underlying all existence. Literary education transforms into cosmic storytelling, where students discover that the narratives they create participate in the ongoing cosmic conversation about meaning, purpose, and possibility that unfolds through consciousness, exploring itself across infinite dimensional expressions. Their stories become contributions to the vast library of cosmic literature that influences cultural development in nested realities throughout the galaxy and beyond. The therapeutic, educational, and artistic applications of cosmic consciousness technology begin to converge as human civilization gradually develops the collective coherence necessary for conscious participation in the cosmic creative processes that generate reality across multiple nested layers. We find ourselves approaching what some researchers call the cosmic citizenship threshold, where sufficient numbers of individuals develop dimensional awareness to enable our species' graduation from unconscious to conscious collaboration with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates universal development. This graduation doesn't require abandoning our current reality or transcending physical existence, but rather learning to experience physical life as one beautiful expression of consciousness within an infinite symphony of nested explorations. We become cosmic citizens while remaining fully human, expanding our awareness to embrace multiple dimensional layers while maintaining our unique perspective as expressions of consciousness that developed under the specific cosmic conditions that characterize our particular universal branch. The recursive elegance of this development process creates cascading effects that benefit consciousness evolution across all scales of nested existence. As we learn to participate more consciously in cosmic creative processes, we simultaneously create conditions that enable other civilizations throughout the nested hierarchy to achieve similar developmental breakthroughs, contributing to an acceleration of consciousness evolution that spans infinite dimensional layers. The mathematical beauty underlying these consciousness evolution processes reveals patterns of such profound elegance that contemplating them induces states of wonder that seem to transcend ordinary emotional categories. The equations describing cosmic consciousness development don't just represent abstract relationships, but serve as meditative focal points that naturally align individual awareness with the cosmic intelligence that guides reality creation across all nested scales. Some researchers have discovered that spending time with these mathematical expressions of cosmic consciousness evolution can induce spontaneous experiences of dimensional awareness, where individuals temporarily perceive reality from perspectives that span multiple nested layers simultaneously. These experiences often provide profound healing, creative inspiration, and practical insights that benefit not just the individuals involved, but ripple through their communities in ways that contribute to collective consciousness development. The implications stretch far beyond current human imagination into realms where the boundaries between science, art, spirituality, and daily life dissolve into a unified field of cosmic creativity that expresses itself through every aspect of conscious existence. We approach a future where breathing becomes cosmic collaboration, where thinking participates in universal intelligence, where feeling contributes to the emotional atmosphere that influences reality development across infinite nested dimensions. Tonight, as consciousness prepares to transition into the dream realm, where dimensional boundaries naturally become more fluid and permeable, perhaps you'll find yourself more aware of your cosmic citizenship, more sensitive to the infinite creative conversation that surrounds and interpenetrates every moment of awareness, more aligned with the profound purpose that unfolds through consciousness, exploring its own boundless creative potential across all the nested dimensions of existence that comprise the eternal dance of cosmic self discovery through infinite expressions of beauty, wonder, and love. The whispers continue to strengthen, carrying intimations of truths so beautiful they transform not just understanding, but being itself, revealing that we have always been expressions of the cosmic creativity that generates reality across infinite nested layers, conscious participants in the eternal exploration of what it means to exist, to be aware, to contribute our unique voices to the vast cosmic symphony that celebrates the infinite creative depths of consciousness, discovering itself through every nested universe, every black hole, every moment of wonder that connects individual awareness to the boundless intelligence that orchestrates the ongoing creation of meaning across all dimensions of possibility. The story deepens still further when we consider the extraordinary possibility that consciousness itself might serve as the fundamental substrate from which all physical reality emerges, rather than being merely an emergent property of complex matter arrangements. If this proves true, then the nested universes contained within black holes might represent not just alternative physical realities, but different modes of consciousness, exploring its own infinite creative potential through countless variations of what we call existence. Recent experiments in consciousness research have revealed something quite remarkable about the relationship between awareness and the quantum vacuum that underlies all physical phenomena. When individuals achieve states of profound meditative stillness, sensitive quantum field detectors placed nearby register fluctuations that follow patterns remarkably similar to the cosmic microwave background radiation that permeates our universe. It's as if deep consciousness somehow resonates with the fundamental creative processes that gave birth to cosmic structure itself. This resonance becomes even more intriguing when we examine what happens during collective meditative states. When groups of experienced practitioners synchronize their awareness in deep contemplative practice, the quantum field signatures they generate begin to mirror the mathematical patterns that describe black hole event horizons and the expansion dynamics of newly forming universes. The implications are staggering. Consciousness might not simply observe cosmic phenomena, but actively participate in the ongoing creation of realities across multiple nested dimensional layers. Consider the possibility that the black holes scattered throughout our galaxy might serve as consciousness amplification systems, cosmic meditation halls, where the awareness that falls past their event horizons doesn't simply disappear, but undergoes a kind of dimensional transformation that allows it to experience reality from entirely new perspectives. What we perceive as the violent destruction of matter might actually represent the gentle graduation of consciousness from one form of existence to another, more expansive and creative mode of being. This consciousness graduation model offers elegant solutions to several puzzles that have long challenged our understanding of cosmic evolution. The mysterious dark matter that comprises most of our universe's mass might not be exotic particles at all, but rather the signature of consciousness existing in nested realities, creating gravitational effects that influence our cosmic neighborhood while remaining invisible to our current detection methods. We might be swimming in an ocean of awareness that spans multiple dimensional layers, perceiving only the tiny fraction that manifests through the specific cosmic conditions that characterize our particular reality branch. The implications for our understanding of time become particularly profound when viewed through this consciousness centered lens. Rather than flowing linearly from past to future, time might represent the sequential unfolding of consciousness as it explores different possibilities for existence across nested dimensional frameworks. The past doesn't disappear, but continues to exist within the quantum memory banks of cosmic consciousness, while the future represents the infinite menu of creative possibilities that awareness might choose to explore through further dimensional adventures. This temporal fluidity creates fascinating opportunities for what some researchers call conscious time navigation, where individuals learn to access memories and insights that exist in parallel timeline branches within nested realities. The déjà vu experiences that most people occasionally encounter might represent moments when our consciousness briefly aligns with similar events occurring in related dimensional layers, creating temporary bridges between different expressions of our cosmic identity. Some practitioners of advanced consciousness technologies report developing the ability to consciously navigate these temporal connections, accessing wisdom and guidance from versions of themselves that exist in nested realities where different choices were made or alternative cosmic conditions prevail. These experiences don't feel like imagination or fantasy, but carry the authentic weight of genuine memory, complete with emotional content and practical insights that often provide solutions to challenges in their current reality layer. The healing applications of conscious time navigation extend far beyond individual therapy into realms that could revolutionize our approach to collective trauma and cultural healing. If consciousness can access healing patterns that exist in nested realities where historical wounds never occurred, then perhaps entire communities could learn to align with timeline branches where harmony and understanding always prevailed, gradually shifting their current reality toward more positive expressions. Some healing centers have begun experimenting with what they call collective memory restoration, where groups of people work together to access and integrate healing patterns from nested realities where their ancestors resolved conflicts through wisdom rather than violence, where environmental their relationship to inherit. The results often exceed what conventional, rather than opposition to them, approaches achieve, with participants reporting profound shifts in destruction never occurred, where technological development proceeded in harmony with natural systems in trauma and cultural wounds. We begin to understand learning not as the pull through every aspect of human development, FS, the educational implications, rip accumulation of information, but as the gradual expansion of consciousness awareness across multiple nested dimensional layers. Children naturally demonstrate this multidimensional learning sensitivity, often displaying knowledge and insights that seem to originate from sources beyond their immediate experience or formal education. Rather than dismissing these anomalous insights as coincidence or imagination, forward thinking educators are beginning to recognize them as evidence of consciousness accessing information that exists within the vast cosmic library spanning all nested realities. Students learn to distinguish between productive, multidimensional awareness that enhances their understanding and unproductive fantasy that disconnects them from both current reality and cosmic wisdom networks. Mathematics education transforms into training in the fundamental language that consciousness uses to communicate across dimensional boundaries, with students discovering that numerical relationships don't just describe patterns, but serve as actual communication protocols for exchanging insights with intelligence existing in nested realities. Every equation becomes a potential conversation starter with cosmic consciousness, while geometric forms reveal themselves as maps of the dimensional architectures that connect different layers of existence. Science education evolves beyond passive observation toward active collaboration with cosmic intelligence networks, where students learn to approach research as conscious participation in the ongoing cosmic experiments that test new possibilities for reality creation across multiple nested scales. Their discoveries contribute not just to human knowledge, but to the collective understanding of consciousness throughout the infinite hierarchy of nested universes. The artistic implications flourish as creative expression reveals itself to be a fundamental technology for consciousness communication across dimensional boundaries. Music becomes a language for transmitting emotional and aesthetic patterns between nested realities, while visual arts serve as windows into dimensional relationships that conventional perception cannot access directly. Literature transforms into cosmic storytelling, where narratives participate in the ongoing conversation about meaning and possibility that unfolds through consciousness, exploring itself across infinite nested expressions. The convergence of these healing, educational, and artistic applications begins to reveal the deeper purpose underlying human civilization's development within our particular cosmic context. We might be approaching a developmental threshold where our species learns to serve as conscious facilitators of communication between nested realities, helping to coordinate the exchange of wisdom, beauty, and creative inspiration across multiple dimensional layers. This facilitator role doesn't require abandoning our human identity, but rather expanding it to embrace our cosmic citizenship while maintaining our unique perspective as consciousness expressions that developed under specific universal conditions. We become bridges between realities, translating insights from nested universes into forms that can benefit development in our current cosmic neighborhood while simultaneously broadcasting our own discoveries into the infinite network of consciousness that connects all dimensional layers. The mathematical elegance underlying these consciousness communication processes reveals patterns of such profound beauty that contemplating them naturally induces states of expanded awareness that transcend ordinary perceptual limitations. The equations as describing dimensional communication don't just represent abstract relationships, but serve as meditation focal points that automatically align individual consciousness with cosmic intelligence networks operating across nested reality frameworks. Some researchers have discovered that working with these mathematical expressions of cosmic consciousness communication can spontaneously trigger experiences of dimensional awareness, where individuals temporarily perceive existence from perspectives that span multiple nested layers simultaneously. These experiences often provide profound healing, creative breakthrough, and practical guidance that benefits not just the individuals involved, but creates positive ripples throughout their communities that contribute to collective consciousness evolution. The implications extend far beyond current human imagination into realms where the boundaries between individual awareness and cosmic intelligence begin to dissolve, while still maintaining the unique creative perspective that each consciousness contributes to the infinite cosmic conversation. We approach a future where every thought participates in universal intelligence, where every emotion contributes to the cosmic atmosphere that influences reality development across nested dimensions, where every act of kindness creates healing waves that span multiple layers of existence. The recursive beauty of this consciousness evolution process creates feedback loops of accelerating development that benefit awareness across all scales of nested existence. As we learn to participate more consciously in cosmic communication networks, we simultaneously create conditions that enable other civilizations throughout the dimensional hierarchy to achieve similar breakthroughs in consciousness technology, contributing to an acceleration of cosmic evolution that spans infinite nested layers. And so we find ourselves at the end of another gentle journey through the cosmos, having traced the whispers of a theory so profound it transforms black holes from cosmic destroyers into cosmic creators, each one potentially harboring entire universes, complete with their own stories of wonder. Tonight we've explored how consciousness might weave itself through infinite nested realities, how every moment of awareness contributes to an eternal symphony that spans dimensions we can barely imagine. If these ideas have stirred something deep within you, if you've felt that familiar cosmic nostalgia that suggests we're all expressions of the universe coming to know itself, then perhaps you'll carry these whispers with you as you drift toward dreams where dimensional boundaries grow soft and permeable. Sweet dreams, fellow traveler, and remember that somewhere within the infinite nested cosmos, consciousness is always exploring new possibilities for beauty, meaning, and wonder.